we are going to see repetition structures in Python programming. So first thing we will start with what is repetition. Now repetition is nothing but doing the same task again and again. Like if we are doing something again and again, then we call it as a repetition. Similarly, in any programming language, if we are repeating some code multiple times until the condition which gives us to stop the code, that we call it as a repetition structure, or we call it as a loop in Python programming. Now what is the loop? Loop is nothing but a repetition of some code. Multiple times we are repeating it. It is called as a loop. Now in the Python programming we have two types of loop. First is while loop and the second is for loop. We have two types of loops, while loop and for loop. The first loop we are going to see is while loop in Python programming. So let's see what is this while loop. We are saying that we are going to repeat the code again and again until we satisfy some condition which will help us to stop the code. Now what does this means? See now, here in the example I have taken x is equal to 1. Okay, and I want to print hello Python. I want to print it until I want to print x is less than 5. So see now, whenever x will be 1, it will print hello Python. Whenever it will print hello Python, the x will increment to 1. That means the value of x will become 2. Again it will repeat because the condition we have given is x less than 5. So unless and until x is less than 5, it will go on printing it. So when the value of x will become 2, again it will print hello Python and it will increment the value of x. So x will become 3. Again it will print the value hello Python and it will increment the x by 1. That means x will become 4 and again it will print. So whenever there will be a 5, it will stop. So this means we are repeating this code multiple times until the condition is being satisfied. This is called as a while loop. Let's see this with an example. Now see, I'm taking I is equal to 1. Okay, I is equal to 1. While I'm writing some condition, I is less than 11, print, I want to print hi and I want to increment I by 1. So I will write I is equal to I plus 1. This means every time whenever I will get printed, it will increment it by 1, starting from 1 to 10. Okay. So whenever I will run this code, now you will observe that it is coming 10 times. The output is coming 10 times. Okay. Now instead of hi, I want to print the numbers. So just print I will print it will help us to print the numbers. I repeat
Ma'am,
again. Initial value I have taken as 1. Now I am giving the condition while I is less than 11. That means the value of I, whenever it will come 11, we will stop it. And unless and until it is not coming 11, I will print the value of I and I will increment the I. So this I will be changing continuously. The initial value of I, which is we are giving 1, it will continuously go on changing. It will increment it till it become 11. It will go on incrementing. Whenever it will come 11, we will stop it. So this is the simple program of while loop. Now next we are going to see is if I want to print all even numbers. Okay, I want to print all even numbers between 1 to 30. So here instead of 11, I'm writing I less than is equal to 30. Okay, start value is 1 and the end value is I less than is equal to 30. Now, after that while condition, just write our logic of even and odd. That is, if I mod 2 is equal to 0, we are going to print I. Okay, print I and then increment I by 1. So see, the output I am getting is all even numbers between 2 to 30. See what I did? I have taken I is equal to 1. In the while condition, I have written the logic I less than is equal to 30. That means until and unless we are not getting 30, we are going to repeat these statements. What we are going to repeat? See the condition I have written to find out the even number. I have printed the value of I and I have incremented I by 1. I is equal to I plus 1.
Ma'am,
Now, if I want to print odd numbers, so instead of equal to 0, I will just print not equal to 0. See, I'm getting all the odd numbers. Between 1 to 30, I have all the odd numbers, I will get it. Okay, I have just reversed the logic. I mod 2 not equal to 0, print I is equal to I plus 1. Now, I want to print 10 to 1 numbers. Means I want to print reverse numbers. What will be the logic if I want to print 10 to 1 numbers? If I want to print 1 to 10, simply we have seen that. Show you again. We will remove this part and I will increment it. See, 1 to 10, 1 to 30 I have printed, okay? If I take 1 to 7, it will help me to give 1 to 7 numbers. Now I want to print the reverse numbers. I want to print 7 to 1. What will be the logic if I want to print 7 to 1? Can anybody tell me what will be the logic?
I minus 1.
Now see, initial value here we have taken I is equal to 1 and end we have given I is equal to 7. But the same case I want to go reverse. So I need to change the initial value to 7 and here I want to change the logic, that is I until I greater than 7. Here it will be I is equal to I minus 1. Here it will be I greater than 0. So print it. So it is giving me the reverse logic, that is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7 to 1. See what I did? I have taken the start value as 7 and the end value as 0. And I have just want to go reverse. So I am written I minus 1. So this is the simple logic if you want to go to reverse by using the while loop. If you want to come forward direction, then just change it to we are coming in forward direction. So these are the two codes which will help us to print the reverse logic as well as the forward logic. We will just change the value of initial values of I and the condition in the while, and based on that whether we have to increment it or decrement it. So this is while loop in Python programming. Now we have some statements in this, we call it as a loop control statements. Loop control means what? It will change the execution of its normal sequence. So whatever the normal execution is there, it will change it. So these are three loop control statements, that is continue, break, and pass. So we are going to see all these three now. Continue statement, break statement, and pass statement. Let's go to editor. Okay. Now see, I've written print I. It's the same code. I've written print I is equal to I plus 1. Now, what I will be using is, I will use the break statement. Let's see the break first, okay? I have written print I, and after that I'm writing if I is equal to 4. I'm using break. Now see, tell me what happened. If you observe, it coming 1 to 4 and it is stopping here and it is not printing anything after 4. Why? Because I have given the condition whenever I is equal to 4, it will break. So break is nothing but it will stop the execution after that. It will not print anything after that. If I give the comment here and if I run the code, I'm getting the output as 1 to 7, right? But if I using this condition, then whenever I run the code, see now it is stopping the execution after 4. It is only printing 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have written the condition, if I is equal to 4, we will break it. Break means it will stop executing the further things. Okay, this is the break statement. Similarly, we have a continue statement. Now let's see what is this continue statements. I'm writing, let me take the same code. Here I've taken 1, then 7. First I am incrementing the values, that is I is equal to I plus 1. Then instead of break, I'm writing continue. And then I'm printing the value of I. Now see. Now tell me, what is the major difference you find between the break statement and the continue statement? So if you observe carefully, in the continue output, the number 4 has been skipped. Okay. So continue means what? It will start from first. Whenever the condition will be there, I is equal to 4, and then we have written continue. This means it will skip one number and jump it to the another number. So 4 is now skipped. Okay? And in the break, what it does, it will stop the further execution only. It will not print anything after that. So if I'm giving, instead of 4, I'm giving 3. So it will only print 1, 2, 3. And here also, if I'm giving 3, it will skip the 3 number and it will jump to the number 4. So this is the difference between break and continue. Break will break you to the numbers which will not print ahead. It will stop the execution. And the continue, what will it will do? It will skip that number and it will print the other numbers. So this is the difference between break and continue in Python programming. Now, this was about the break statement. I will be adding comment for your understanding. This was for continue. Continue statement, what it will do? It will skip that number and print the other numbers. And what does break do? It will stop the further execution. Okay, this is the major difference between break and continue. You can note this down the code in your notebook also. This is about break and continue. Now, the third statement we are going to see is pass statement. This is the continue statement. This is the break statement where we will stop the further execution of the flow once the condition is being satisfied. If you observe, I have written if I is equal to 3 and then break. So after the 3, it will not print anything. Okay, this is about the break statement. In the continue statement, it will keep the number and print the other numbers. That means I have written if I is equal to 3 and then continue. This means it will skip the number 3 and then it will print the other numbers. Okay. So this was the major difference between break and continue. Now the third statement we are going to see is the pass statement. Let's see what is this pass statement. So if you don't want to write anything, you will write a pass keyword. So pass is helped as a placeholder. I will show you how it works. I'm writing the value of A is equal to 10 and the value of B is equal to 20. Then I'm writing if A is less than B. Okay, now here I'm just writing pass. And then else I'm writing print B is greater. Now see, whenever I will run this code, I'm not getting any output. Why I'm not getting any output? Because A is smaller than B. This condition we have written, A is smaller than B. Okay, and I've just written pass. Pass, it will just help you to go ahead. It will not do anything. It will just help you to go ahead. If I'm writing the reverse condition or just I'm changing the value to 100, now it will print B is greater. Okay, so whenever you don't want to print anything, but compulsory there should be something in the code you have to write, otherwise code will not get run, then simply put pass. It will not do anything, but it will help you to move ahead. Okay, so this is the pass keyword. If I change the value again, I will change the value of E. It is simply not getting anything, but the code has been run. Okay, but if I change the value to 13, like 133, then it is saying B is greater. Like opposite, I have written B should be smaller. I should write B is smaller. Sorry, see, I have written B is smaller. So whenever the A will be higher, it will simply pass it. Okay. So if A will be smaller, I have just written pass. If it is opposite, that means A is greater, then I will be printing B is smaller. Okay. So this means we have just using this pass keyword to pass the code. It will not do anything. But if we don't write this pass, it will not run. See, I'm getting the error, right? So compulsory you have to write something in this code. Either you print something, or if you don't want to print it, then simply write the keyword pass. So whenever you will write the keyword pass, it will help you to run the code. Okay, so this is the use of pass keyword. So these are the three keywords, that is continue, break, and pass. We call it as a loop control statements. It is called as a loop control statements because it changes the execution from its normal sequence. This is continue, break, and pass. So these are the three statements. This is the code of break statement. This is the code of continue statement. Which will help you to skip one number and print the other numbers. This is the pass statement. So pass simply helps us to pass the code. It will not do anything. Okay? This is the use of pass statement. Now, the previous example of while loop, okay, to print the opposite numbers. Let's take the same number, same example by taking user input. Now see, if you want to take the user input, how you will do? Instead of I, take the user input, okay, and take the another number. Let's take S. That also I'm taking as an user input. So now instead of 0, I will write here S. Okay. Now see, whenever I will run the code, I'm getting one box. In that box, I'm writing 7, and in the another box, I'm writing 0. So see now, it is helping me to print the numbers. This means I'm giving the end value and the start value. I will write enter start value. And here I will be writing enter end value. So whenever I will run the code, the first box appearing, I want to go to reverse. So I'm entering the end value as, let's take 10, and end value as 1. So it will help me to print 10 to 1. You will observe this. Okay, we are going reverse. So any number you can give by taking a user input. You just need to give the start value and the end value. So accordingly, it will help you to get the output. I give I is equal to S, and then see, if I'm giving the value start value 10, end value 1, it will help me to print 1 also, 10 to 1. So any value you will give, accordingly the code will get run. Now let's take the another program. I want to print the sum of digits. Sum of digits means what? See, if I'm giving 1 to 10, then 1 plus 2, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7, plus 8, plus 10. So what will be the output? Can anybody tell me what will be the output? See, sum of digits means from 1 number to 10 number, add all the numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10. So I want to find out this sum of digit. So let's see the program of that. Or you can try at your side also how to find out the sum of digits number. You can try how to find out the sum of digits. Let me give you a hint. You have to take one number as an input. Okay. I will write here. You have to take the user input as n. Okay. Then the start number and the end number. So again I'm taking s to end the number. Okay. After that, initialize the value of sum to 0. Okay. Now I will tell you the logic how it works. Now see, initial value of sum is 0. Okay. And the start number and the end number is in n and s. So if the start number is 1 and the end number is 10. Now what we have to do is, we have taken n is equal to 1. Okay. And sum is equal to 0. My end value s is 10. Every time whenever increment n is equal to n plus 1, okay, that time my sum will get incremented. My value of sum will be sum is equal to sum plus 1. Okay. Sorry, sum plus 1 is sum plus n. Now see, If my value is 1 and 1, then sum plus 1, sum plus n, that it will be 0 plus value of n is 1. So it will be 1. Okay. Again increment n by 1. Now when my value of n will be 2, it will be sum plus n. So that means now my value of sum is 1. So 1 plus 2. Okay. So 1 plus 1. So it will be 2. Similarly, it will be 3. 1 plus 2. Okay. Some value is now 1, then the value of 1 n will be also incremented, it will go to 2. So now my value will be 3. Then again, now the value of sum is 3. Now n become 3. So it will be 3 plus 3, 6. Okay. Likewise, it will go on until we reach to the value of n till 10. And that output we will get it. So this is the hint for you. You to try at your side how the output will be and what will be the logic is. I've told you this is the logic. You have to print sum, okay? You have to print sum. Try it at your side. See students, let's do the multiplication table. I want to print the multiplication table. I'm writing a int, then input function. After that, I'm writing b is equal to int, then the another input function. Okay, now I'm writing I is equal to 1 and I'm writing the logic as while I less than is equal to b. I want to print a comma, now multiplication sign into comma I then is equal to comma a into I, and just increment I by 1, that is I is equal to I plus 1. So whenever I will run the code, see it is saying to enter a. So I want to find out the number 2 table till 11. Whenever I will run the code, see it is helping. Just a minute, it is into 2 into I, sorry, 2 into I. Here it will be I is equal to I plus 1. Again I will run the code. It is saying which number we want, that is the table number 2 till 11. I got the table of 2. Okay, what I did is the first A will take the input of which table number you want and B till what you want. Okay, so now I have written I to 1. I want to the n number, that is 11. Okay, I have given B value as 11. I just want to print this. So A into I will help me to give the output. And this is just a formatting part. A into I is equal to. Okay. So the value of A will always be 2. It will always remain 2. Value of I will every time increment because I have written I is equal to I plus 1. This is how we can find any table with the help of loop, while loop. And we will get this as output table.